Hey guys, it's me, EODGamer here, and in this video, let's talk real quick about whether Topaz and Numby is still worth it in version 2.2. Now, I'll give you a TLDR because that's what this channel is all about. In my opinion, she's probably the one of two only characters in Honkai Star Rail whose value of her second banner is way higher than her first banner. Why do I say that? If you think about her character kit, ignoring the fact when she was first released, she actually buffs follow-up damage, so increasing the amount of damage the enemy takes from follow-up attacks. Back then, let's talk about when she was first released, didn't really have too many follow-up attackers when she was released after Jingliu, who was unfortunately like a super popular character, and Hunt was like kinda dying out of meta. A lot of people would say like Zealer was going downhill at that point of time, and naturally a Hunt DPS like Topaz and Numby didn't really fare too well in the first banner. The second banner around, totally different landscape. Hunt is potentially coming back into the meta with the new Apocalyptic Chaos game mode that's coming out in 2.3, as well as a free character Doctor ratio, free at least up till 2.2 at least. After that, new players might not have access to him, but as of time of recording, anyone who is watching this video and playing right now probably has Doctor ratio for free. One of the only reasons why I think Topaz and Numby now is like super good, or one of the biggest reasons I should say, is the elemental typing. With the exception of the new boss that is out in 2.2 or 2.1 and 2.2, which is the Aventurine boss, every single other major boss in the game is weak to either fire or imaginary, and we already talked about it in our boss weakness guide, but let me just show you a very quick sample analysis. We can just go in and pick a few bosses and you can see the weakness. So I'm talking about the massive bosses like Cocolia here. You can see Cocolia is weak to fire, is either fire or imaginary. Aventurine, of course, is the newest boss, so we won't count him in that, but we can go to 11 and see you have Yensing here, who is weak to imaginary. So if you have a team of like fire, imaginary, Doctor ratio, and Topaz and Numby, you basically will be always able to tackle one of the big bosses. As you can see here, Bronya is weak to both fire and imaginary, and this really goes on. Let's just do one more just for show. You have Sam here, who is also a new boss and is weak to imaginary, and you really can go down the list and you can just test the logic out. Most of the biggest bosses in the game are either weak to fire and imaginary. If you are a player who is interested in Apocalyptic Chaos and you want to tackle them, and maybe you don't have a character like Silverwolf, you don't like pure quantum teams and stuff like that, this is another way that you can try, and I think it's very attractive as well. Topaz and Numby team comps too, allowing you to tackle a lot of content without applying weaknesses in the enemies too. So that is the pros. I think is very solid. If you care a lot about follow-up attacks, you like the whole IPC kind of thematic with Aventurine, Topaz and Numby, maybe eventually Jade, Diamond and blah as well. If you like that whole thematic, I think it's really solid. Now, let me just go over to the flip side. I want to give a balanced argument because not everyone really has the resources, and you want to also know what are the downsides so you can make a more informed decisions. In my opinion, one of the most overrated, and now I'm switching not because I hate this character or anything, I'm just trying to give a balanced argument to help us be more informed purchasers or consumers. One of the most overrated things is actually the technique that she has. A lot of people say, oh, this is so good because you're able to summon the Numby to go and search the map and find credits. In my opinion, you could just easily get away with like reading a guide, watching a guide on YouTube. Very easily you can find all the things. You don't really need this gimmick. This is mainly for the people who are making the guides to help them source out much quicker. But other than that, I think it's really quite overrated, summoning Numby to help you explore the map and find treasure chests and stuff like that. But that's my own like personal opinion. Other than that, one of the reasons why Topaz and Numby might not be good is, I can imagine, is if you're in a love-hate situation with follow-up attacks. In my opinion, you either like follow-up attacking playstyle or you don't at all. If you guys do not have any follow-up attacking units that you play often other than Doctor ratio because he's strong and he's free, try to play a team composition maybe with Doctor ratio and together with like a character like March 7, see if you can play that kind of team comp where you rely on follow-up attacking and go and use the elation buff in the simulated universe as well. Play more, try to see whether you like it or not. If you don't want to play follow-up attacking teams, I would say that Topaz and Numby value falls off really quickly. I don't see her being played in many other teams outside of follow-up attacking units, at least in the meta today, unless you don't mind playing less meta teams, which we have touched on the video already. You can check out our Topaz team composition guide if you don't really care about the most optimal meta. You want to like maybe run a more fun team with like Himiko, and etc, pure fire teams and stuff like that. I think those are all options available too. But yeah, those are my two thoughts. I think she's very nicely placed in version 2.2. faring very nicely in elemental coverage, gives you very nice fire, very nice imaginary, allows you to possibly play into Apocalyptic Chaos, but of course 2.2 is similar to where she was way back then. She's released recently after a very popular character like Akirion. Aventurine arguably is also very a cornerstone himself because he helps become a very offensive supportive character. And next we have Firefly Sam that's coming up real quick. So I don't know how many people will actually pull for Topaz and Numby rather than wait for a character like Firefly and Sam. If you're one of them, let me know in the comments below. Why are you pulling for Topaz and Numby, and maybe are you skipping any other character for her? That'll be very interesting to know. Anyways guys, if you appreciate such content, I do this for every single character, rerun or not. And like and subscribe for more such future content. See you next video.